What's happening, everybody? So Evie made a video the other day called
YouTube Love Story, How We Met.
And what is your channel called?
Evie Nova.
Okay, link in the description for her channel, so go check that out. This video is about what it's like living as a couple in a van. It's got its pros and its cons, so we're going to talk about them a little bit. Now, remember that every person is different, so every couple is different as well. But we're all humans. I think that a lot of these things are going to have in common with everybody. What's that?
I'm an alien.
You're an alien?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get started. Weirdo, I love you.
I love you.
I think we're gonna start with we'll try to start with the negatives. No, because everything's got its plus and negative side. So what seems like a con or whatever is also a pro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so challenges are also I don't know, whatever. Yeah. Everything's an opportunity for growth. So.
Yes.
Let's just do it. So the first one is physical space. Sometimes she's I'm trying to do something in here, and then she wants to do something, and then one of us just has to stop what we're doing and just wait for the other person to do their thing and go on. It can be kind of, a hassle, but that's just how it goes in a tiny little space. So...
VANLIFE shuffle.
Yeah, VANLIFE, that's a good word for it. I like that. Mm-hmm. The next one is freedom, which isn't really... a con. I don't feel like you hold me back from doing anything.
No.
When we're driving, if we want to go somewhere, if I want to go somewhere, or she wants to go somewhere, it's kind of whoever wants to go somewhere more, we end up going there.
Yeah.
And if one person wants to stop somewhere along the way, we just stop, and it's never been an issue at all. I've never felt like, I wanted to go somewhere, but she didn't, or something. Have you ever felt like I've held you back?
No, I mean,
going somewhere or doing something?
We're both very laid back. And we're kind of easygoing. So if you really want to stop somewhere to see something or film something, I'm usually just like, yeah, whatever. Because I know it's going to be interesting, because if you really want to see it, most likely I'm going to enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
So, and I think the same goes for you. Like if we're driving and I want to make a stop so I can pee or stretch or just relax for a bit, you're very easygoing with that as well. And you just kind of go along with that.
We also have very similar interests and tastes in things, which makes that makes that a big deal. The next one is sleep. I need 9 hours of sleep every night. I haven't gotten that for 2 weeks now, but that's my ideal amount of sleep. And I'm a night owl, so I go to sleep at 2 and wake up at 10 to 12. That's just how I'm wired. It's always been that way. And she goes to sleep way earlier. 10 or 11 usually.
Yeah, 10, 11, midnight. And I wake up at right now, especially since we got Lily, I wake up around 7 a.m. 7 to 8 a.m. That's my normal. Sometimes I'll sleep in a little bit later if I was up later. And yeah, that can be tough having two different sleep schedules.
Yeah, and then you have to tiptoe around so you don't wake me up, and then I have to tiptoe around at night so I don't wake you up.
Yeah.
So that's probably the toughest thing right there. That's probably it.
But it can also be a pro, at least for me, because that way when I do wake up before him, I have good 2 to 3 hours of me time where I walk Lily, and then I can catch up on my YouTube watching, or I can get some work done. So usually I will edit a video, or I'll send emails out to potential clients, or just kind of get my stuff done while he's sleeping, so when he wakes up, we can usually just start the day going and go explore, film, or work, or whatever it might be.
That's true. Yeah, at night, my end is the most clear at night, so that's when I do my thing. But it's also hard because that's, once everything's done, that's nighttime is our time to just hang out and just focus on each other and spend quality time together. And I don't feel like I get enough of that most of the time. Yeah. So we're out all day filming and doing stuff, and then we got to edit and upload and do all this stuff. And then we got other projects we're working on all the time, so we're working on those. So we really don't, even though we live together 24/7 basically, we don't really spend that much time together. Even when we're driving, if I'm driving, I'm focusing on driving, she's focusing on doing whatever she's doing, we're both thinking about filming and thinking about what's coming up next, and we just don't spend very much time together. But that's more of a YouTube thing than a van life thing. You can totally set up van life to spend a ton of quality time with your partner. The next one is, when we fight, there's no real escape. I mean, we can pull over, someone can go on a walk, or if we're already parked, someone can just go on a walk and come back. But if it's pouring rain or something out, we're stuck with each other, and things get pretty heated when you don't have physical space.
Yeah.
But the plus side of that is it forces you to really work through stuff and get. If you can't like work your way to the solution fast, then at least you can work your way to being okay with having a disagreement going on and learning to just be okay with that and not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't have like a room where I can go to. Like if you live in the house, a couple gets in the fight, somebody can just go in the kitchen or in the bedroom, in the living room, and just separate space. We only have one room, it's this, so.
Yeah, and we don't have our own private real space. I mean, I've got my clothes area down here, and I've got a place where I put like my leathers, and I've got a place where I put some of my camera equipment. I've got the end of the bed, I store some stuff back there, but I don't have like a man cave or anything. I don't have my own private space that I can do whatever I want. I have to keep things clean because she wants them clean and organized, and I don't want to be a jerk. And she does the majority of the cleaning. I do the majority of the fixing stuff. So that's just the way we've kind of worked things out. And I don't want to be a jerk and leave it a mess for her, but sometimes I like to leave things messy because I just don't really care about being, like, having everything perfectly organized and stuff. So I've got some notes here because there's so many things to cover. One of the really cool things is the shared responsibilities, and of course, the shared cost of everything. We split costs with everything, so everything is mostly. I can't really say that because I guess the phone bill now we have 2 phones instead of just one. The food, now we're buying food for 2 people. The gas, we're splitting that because we're doing the same amount of driving I did when I was single. Insurance is the same.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I don't think adding you on added anything. So, I don't know. Shared expenses, shared responsibilities. Like I said, she does the majority of the cleaning. I mean, I try to clean up after myself as much as possible and, go the extra mile in different areas. But the majority of it is her, so I don't have to worry about that, and I can do other things. And then when things break, she doesn't have to worry about that, and I fix them. So it's cool to have, like, shared things. And the driving. I don't like to drive more than, like, I don't know, 2 hours, really. Yeah. I mean, like, 3 I can do. Yeah. Even 4, like, if I have to. But anything beyond that, I'm not in a good place. I'm not enjoying it anymore. So being able to switch drivers, especially when one of us is tired or one of us is stressed out or, anxious or something, being able to just have the other person drive for you is so nice.
Yes.
It's really nice.
Very nice.
Let's see, what else we got? Shared driving. The fun aspect of, having another person there. When you see something cool and you do something awesome, it's one thing to like capture it in video and share it with people on the internet, but most of them you're probably never going to meet, and even if you do, you're probably not going to discuss those things, and they weren't really fully there with you. But with her, when I go somewhere and do something awesome, we experience it together. So later, when something triggers in my mind, oh yeah, remember that one time? And I'm like, wait a minute, there's nobody there that was with me. But now I can we can share that experience and remember together. It's really...
And talk about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. Let's see here. Shared driving. We learn a lot of stuff from each other. We've both got different skills. I'm really good at navigating and figuring stuff out, and you're good at like a million other things, pretty much everything else.
Well, I teach you about like different cultures. I've been to a lot of different countries, so I get to teach him what it's like to be in a different country, what it's like to be from a different country, and stuff like that.
Well, you also teach me a ton about relationships and a ton about myself. Like that's
same here.
Yeah. And navigating and stuff it's definitely helpful to have you like research stuff. It's good. We share everything. And you were saying always having someone to talk to is a really kind of important thing to you? Yeah,
it is. So like always having somebody there. So if I get something on my mind, I have a cool idea or a cool thought, or I remembered something, whatever it might be, having him there that I can like quickly share it with him, because I just want to share with somebody. It's been amazing to me, and it's always been important to me to, if there is something on my mind that I do want to share, having somebody to share it with instead of just talking to myself in my head all the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that never really bothered me, but now that you mention it, like, it is pretty cool, especially with like artistic stuff when you can say like, hey, what do you think about this? You know, what you got any suggestions about this?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, and like when you're on the road, you're kind of living on the fly, and you've got to come up with solutions on the fly constantly, and there's constantly a lot of mental work to be done. I'm always kind of thinking about, okay, what's next? What do I got to do next? How do I get there? How do I do it? You know, and having another person to reflect and give ideas off of is really really cool. It makes it a lot easier. Cooking, this is a two-part thing. One, I don't like to cook, and she does like to cook, so she cooks a lot more than I do, which is awesome. And then for shopping for food, when you're shopping for one person, it can be kind of hard sometimes because it's hard to get quantities for just one person. Like a head of lettuce, for example, or a bag of lettuce. I have a hard time ever finishing one before it goes bad, but with two people, we can, you know, share that expense, and then we're not wasting a ton of food, which is also wasting money, you know. So that's a pretty awesome thing.
Yeah, and then cooking for two people is also a lot easier. Like if you cook for one person, it's tough to cook just for one person, but when you have more than one person, it's a lot easier, and you can cook a lot more, and then you have leftovers, and those leftovers don't sit in your fridge for a super long time, because between two people we usually finish them within a day too. So it saves food and money, and it's just easier to cook.
Yeah, for sure. I think some solutions to the main problems are probably going to be a bigger vehicle, really. I mean, the space thing and the sleep thing, and the alone time thing. Those are like, the solution there is either having two vehicles or a bigger vehicle. Really. So we're thinking about going to get the Astro and traveling together in that, so that, you know, when we need alone time or space, we can have that. If we want to park this van and take another van somewhere that's better on gas, we can do that. If when she wakes up in the morning, if she wants to be indoors, she can go in the Astro and hang out in that.
And we can store some of the stuff in the Astro that kind of floating around here. Like we can grab all of our power tools, so we can build things and fix things a lot easier. You know, when I do get my own bike, we can store one of the bikes inside the Astro if we want to. We'll have more electricity because we'll have a solar panel on the Astro and the battery already. So, you know, I can sit in there and edit in the morning or work without having to worry about my laptop dying and me having to come in and charge it in here. And when I do get like photo shoot gigs that are early in the morning, I can just take the Astro to drive there. I don't have to wake him up, so we can drive together. So
yeah. Downsides are that, you know, we're paying twice as much for gas, we're paying twice as much for insurance, twice as much wear and tear. We can't drive together, we can't split the driving anymore. Like there's a lot of pros and cons, but we're gonna try it out and see how it works. I think slowly make our way up to Oregon and pick it up. It's in storage right now, but I think the end goal is just to get a bigger vehicle. But we don't want one. But we just built this thing and we love it so much, and we don't want to get rid of it yet.
And it works for now. We have enough storage space. It does have cons to it, you know, but anything in life has pros and cons, no matter what you do. So. But it does work. Yes, we'll have to shuffle a little bit and kind of get out of each other's way, but it works. It works. Yeah. Having
our own shower and having our own like real toilet and having, you know, space to have a separate bedroom from everything else, you know, that would be pretty rad.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Make sure you check out her channel, Evie Nova. Thank you. Love yourself.